What we try to emphasize is planning so that it's not done in a crisis situation. We often, if we can, involve the patient so that we can get some of their wishes and needs into the equation and help in the selection process.
After we have selected our doctor and communicated our concerns about our current health care needs, we can consider planning for our future medical care needs. The best way to manage our health care is to do it before a crisis.
As people age, it's really important that they do some planning for their future health care needs, and that should probably involve discussion with their families and ideally with their doctor as well.
One of the things you have to do is, I think, everybody has to come to the table. You have to sit down like it's a planning process, and you have to share this communication. And I think something that's very useful is to have a third party intervene in some cases like this, who can go and talk to the parents and find out their wishes and express those wishes to the son or daughter.
We all need to discuss with our families and our doctor advanced directives which state what types of procedures or treatments we want if we become terminally ill or are unable to express our wishes. Two types of advanced directives are living wills and durable powers of attorney.
Every patient that I see over the age of 18, I recommend that they have a living will and durable power of attorney for health care, and probably a durable power of attorney for finance as well with a family member. I have one with my wife has one with me. Any one of us can get into a situation where we might need somebody else to help us make decisions about health care or financial or other questions, and we may be too ill to make those decisions. It's particularly important for older people to think about this with their spouse or with their children. There still seems some resistance to the idea. Once again, I think there's a certain amount of denial that I'll probably never need this. On the other hand, there's also some misunderstanding that somehow when you sign a living will or durable power of attorney, you are doing something that is irreversible or something that gives away some of your rights, and that's not the case. If I sign a living will today, tomorrow I can revoke it. So if you change your mind, you can always change your mind. Signing durable power of attorneys does not remove any rights from the individual. The person is just sharing the responsibility with another person, giving another person an opportunity to help them if it's necessary.
A living will tells your doctor and family what treatments you want in the event you become unable to speak for yourself. You can indicate if you want to be resuscitated, if you want antibiotics, or other treatments to prolong your life. You can contact your local medical society or bar association for these forms, which vary state to state. But you need to personalize them before they have any real meaning to your doctor. Heroic measures could have many interpretations. But unfortunately, no document can cover all eventualities. For that reason, a health care proxy or a health care power of attorney is also needed. This allows another person, the agent, the right to make choices about your medical care if you become incompetent. If you have both documents, then the person you have entrusted knows what care you want and has the legal authority to help ensure it is provided.
Older people who want to talk about it should bring it up with their physician. Now, it may seem an uncomfortable thing to do. How am I going to, I'm feeling fine, I'm going in for my checkup. What am I going to say to the doctor? I want to talk about dying or, what's going to happen if I get really sick. Sometimes having that living will and saying, I'd like you to put this in my chart, is the icebreaker, the opening to having that conversation with your physician.
However, the most important thing is to share your wishes with your family and make certain that your agent, your doctor, and your hospital have notarized copies of these documents and agree to carry out your wishes. Remember, if you make changes to the documents, you will need to distribute new notarized copies.
Well, it's important for caregivers to get involved in helping their loved one make decisions about advanced care, advanced directives. It's very difficult to do because we're often dealing with role reversals where children are taking care of parents. We're also talking about end of life and dying and terminal illness, and many people are real reluctant to talk about that. And sometimes it helps to do that with a physician or perhaps a social worker or someone else who's trained in handling that, and sometimes families feel more comfortable doing in that setting.
Without making these decisions now. Consider that your family will have to guess in the midst of a crisis what medical care you would have wanted. They will have the responsibility and the pain of making that decision.
One of the things many people fear in old age is losing their independence. It is probably the single greatest fear that we all have as we get older. And to be able to make decisions ahead of time on your own behalf is a mark of independence and is a way of having some greater control over a time in your life where you may lose that control. If you can have that control now, sometimes it can be very reassuring to know that you've taken care of those things and that you're not leaving that to some unknown group of people.
There's also a concern that you may not want certain life-sustaining treatments if those will not improve your life. You may also not want them under those circumstances if they will cause great financial losses to your loved ones. But to ensure that your medical care is not based on financial concerns, you may wish to designate one person as the durable power of attorney for financial issues and another durable power of attorney for your medical care.